It's been about a week since YouTube completely changed how their analytics system works and still refuses to explain whether or not this was intentional. And it wouldn't be the first time that YouTube was dodging a very obvious change and just not wanting to explain it. So I've gone ahead and made a spreadsheet to make everyone's life considerably easier. So on the left-hand side here is before the change, on the right-hand side is after the change. So what we have here is the number of views the video has, the number of likes, and then the ratio of views to likes. So what percentage of people who viewed the video go and click the like button? Each of these videos sitting on roughly a 1% dislike ratio. And then down the bottom here, we have the average. Before the change, 6.8%. And this is much higher than it would normally be due to an overperformer in this period. This is the Why Valve Sees Linux as Gaming's Future video. That video did really well, but really well within the expected range of doing really well at 8.5%. So normally this would be at like 5-ish, 5.5% in a normal section of the channel. 15.5% though, that's not normal. That is not normal whatsoever, and I've been running this channel for many years, uploading videos almost daily the entire time, and you can take any other point in the channel's history, and you will never see an average like this. And there's a 20% in here. 20% of views convert into a like. That doesn't happen on this channel ever. And if this was something that happened gradually over time, it's like, oh, we're at 6%, we're at 7%, 8, 9, 10. That would have made sense. But this was an overnight change. And even then, if it just happened by itself, if views stayed the same and then the ratio went up, like, wow, that's crazy. I don't know what I did. People seem to like these videos. That's really cool. I'm gonna keep making these videos. But that's not what happened. Within the last couple of days, with no change in the like to dislike ratio, no change in comments, not people getting suddenly angry with something I've done, not something where people are saying, I'm gonna unsubscribe from the channel, I don't like what you're doing now. Nothing at all. No indication that people had any different opinion of the channel. Views went down by roughly the same amount that the ratio went up. So likes stayed consistent. This is a normal range of likes for one of my videos. But the views are about half where they were. And representing this visually might help a bit more. So here we have the views graph. So this point right here, this is roughly where the change went into place. Now you might notice there is still a dip in between these two peaks here. That dip is a totally normal dip. That is the day that I don't upload. But the important thing about it is it always drops to roughly the same period because there's videos uploaded years ago, those videos are still getting views, so there's like a general consistent amount of baseline views the channel gets. On this day though, it dipped way under that point, so all of those videos are also underperforming as well. And you might reasonably think that this would be a massive cause for concern, and that's how I initially felt as well. And then I did a bit more digging, and then I realized clearly something is not working like I'd expect it to. So here we have another graph. This is the revenue graph. Now keep in mind, YouTube never really feels generous. They're not going to pay you extra money that they don't need to pay you. So on this day that had a dip lower than expected, revenue didn't move. Ad revenue for that day, where views were considerably lower, was exactly where it would be normally. That doesn't happen on YouTube. YouTube never does that. Now, I understand the revenue on this side is lower than it is on this side. Over here, we did have some overperformers. We had the Valve video, a couple other Whalen videos that did really well. And over here, there are some naturally underperformers. But the important thing to focus on is the valleys. And the fact that when it's at its lowest point, ad revenue is way higher than it should be. For further evidence on that front, let's compare some video RPMs. So you may have heard of CPM. This is cost per mil. This is how much YouTube is paid per 1,000 views for ads run on videos. RPM takes into account ad blockers being run, people naturally just not seeing videos, using other clients that may not show ads, things like that, and this is the actual rate that someone is paid per 1,000 views on their videos. These numbers don't make any sense. So on the left-hand side, this is after the change. Right-hand side is before the change. It was very normal to have an RPM of $3.20, $3.50, $2.56, and all of these videos made around about the same money. After the change, though, RPM nearly doubled. Again, this is not something that happens on my channel. I'm not making super mainstream videos, but it's like, this is a Mr. Beast style video. Tech videos naturally just get paid less. This number doesn't make any sense. And if we do a little bit of math, so this video right here is this one here. I took the number a little bit after for this bit here. If we do a times 2, that puts it at 18,000 views, and the ratio at 7.7%. This is a normal ratio. This makes sense. If I saw a video like this, there would be nothing out of the ordinary. And if we took this right here, and we doubled this, taking it to 18,000 views, and then halved the RPM, that would be a normal RPM. What I'm seeing here is way out of the ordinary. This indicates to me that something has changed in YouTube. Then we have this far less important thing, but still kind of amusing. YouTube's internal AI systems that are shown in the studio know that something is weird with the channel right now, and it is saying that this section of the channel, which is where the dip happened, is being watched less often, which results in fewer channel views. This is clearly saying the same thing twice, but that's not important. So YouTube's AI systems know that something weird is happening here, but I cannot get anyone at YouTube to explain what has happened. So TLDR, what we are seeing is that views into likes are doubling. The ratio of people who are liking a video to viewing the video is doubling, or in some cases, over doubling, very close to tripling. Views are halving, or even more so, and then revenue hasn't moved at all, which YouTube doesn't do, ever. YouTube will always make sure that revenue is tracking view count. If you want to take into account the views are halving, I guess you could call it revenue doubling, but let's just say that revenue is remaining stable. I have reached out to YouTube multiple times about this issue, and every single time they direct me to the same thing. We hear your concern. This is a normal part of how YouTube verifies that views are real and accurate. You may see views slow down, freeze, or adjust during this process. More info here. How engagement metrics are counted. And yes, understandably, YouTube operates on eventual consistency. So they will take view counts from various different servers, they will verify those view counts, ensure the views aren't being botted, ensure those are actually real people seeing the video. So you might see view counts fluctuate over time. And that totally fine. That's how YouTubers always work. But that's not what I'm seeing. What I am seeing is that in the past couple of days, view counts went down, likes remain stable, doubling the ratio of views to likes, and revenue not tracking views. Clearly, something has changed here. Now, why might this be happening? I know some of you might say, oh, this is due to the ID verification happening on YouTube in the United States, and that is the largest audience on this channel. You would be correct in saying that this is a thing that is happening, but I do have some counter-arguments for it being the explanation. Firstly, that's only blocking people from watching videos that are age-gated. And I don't think I've ever even uploaded a video on this channel that is age-gated. So, first point out the window there. Secondly, my United States audience literally hasn't changed. It is the exact same percentage it was at before. So, again, doesn't really make much sense to me. And thirdly, I would expect a proportional drop. So if, say, views went down by 10%, likes would go down by roughly 10% as well. If views went down by 50%, I would expect likes to basically follow suit. But what we are seeing is not that. We're seeing views go down by 50% and then likes remaining stable. If you want to be more accurate, views are going down by 50%, and then relative to that, likes have gone up by 200%. And I'm happy to hear explanations for why this might make sense, but I just cannot wrap my head around how that would ever compute. More importantly, though, is channel revenue. I don't see any world where views go down and revenue doesn't, right? Like, again, YouTube does not pay any more than they need to. If you can come up with a reason why that makes sense, oh, I would love to hear that. Same thing with the so-called YouTube boycott that some people are participating in. I would expect to see a proportional drop. If views go down by 30%, likes roughly the same amount. What I think is far more likely is one of 2.5 things. So YouTube has implemented some form of better bot detection, detecting engaged users, third-party clients, things like that. Basically, things they are not able to monetize, and trying to bring views more in line with users who they can actually display ads to, effectively culling view counts in the process, as it's always been pretty normal on YouTube that some users do not get ads. Now, I know if you're in the United States, if you're in Europe, that might seem crazy, you get a ton of ads, but there are a lot of places out there which don't really have that much of an ad budget, and people actually just don't see many ads in those regions. And that would account for the higher like to view ratio, as certain views just wouldn't be getting counted as a view. In the same vein as this, they may have adjusted what it means to be an engaged viewer. So sometimes people open up a video, you've all done this, and 3 seconds in, you're like, I don't care about this video, I'm going to the next one. They may be more stricter in what is actually counting as a view, but if you're far enough through a video that you're clicking the like button, you are very clearly engaged with that content. And then in the process of this, they rolled out the change and didn't actually tell anyone they were rolling out the change, which would not be a first for YouTube. Or very likely, and this is the 2.5, this is an A/B test, where on some channels they're deploying this, on other channels they're not. I've gone around and tested the like to view ratio on certain channels. Some seem to be affected, others aren't, so I think an A/B test is actually pretty likely. Now, if you don't make videos, you may not realize this, but YouTube's metric system breaks a lot. There have been so many periods where basically half a month of views, they're like, yeah, something went wrong, so we're recalculating everything. We don't actually know what went wrong. We're not going to tell you what went wrong, but we'll deal with it. There is a very high possibility as well that the metric system is just entirely broken, and I can't seem to get anybody to actually say whether or not that is the case. Now, I've not streamed on this channel since the change went into place, but I have seen some people out there saying that their CCV is massively down as well. That is the concurrent viewers, that is the number of people watching the stream currently. There is a possibility that that is affected as well. I'm not able to properly confirm that though. And I'm not here to make a value judgment on the change, right? Like, if this is the direction that YouTube wants to go, hey, that's totally fine. Revenue is unaffected. It's not that big of a deal. All I am asking for is an explanation on what has happened. Why has this happened? Is it a bug? Is it intentional? Are we doing an A/B test? What has happened? So please share this video around. If you happen to run a channel yourself, I would like to know if you've seen any change in recent days, whether it's been longer than the past week or so. I would like to know. And better yet, I would like to know for channels that are not affected, because I am almost convinced at this point that this is some sort of A/B test or it's a bug. Those are my two options. I'm leaning more towards A/B test because big companies love to do those and not tell anyone they're involved, especially YouTube. Oh, especially YouTube. They love to roll out new versions of the player, new versions of the site, all of these different new versions, and not tell anyone. So, go like the video, go subscribe, go to that fun stuff, and yeah, share this around, tell people about this, and if you know anyone who also is a YouTuber, let them know and let them see what the numbers are like. If you like the video, I said all that. Go. Go, if you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon, subscribe to the Therapy, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and I really should stream more, shouldn't I?
Like this.